Hello and welcome back to the X-Ring. On today's episode, we're going to look at the brand new Woox Furiosa Ultra. So stick around. All right, so in about 2018 or so, there was a company that came onto the scene out of Hickory, North Carolina, which is actually pretty local to me. And it was Woox. And Woox started making chassis systems for precision rifles as well as 10/22s, some other options, everything from Tikkas to you name it now. And they just have this beautiful, beautiful look to them. If you're someone like me that likes that blend of wood along with metal, aluminum or steel, it's just a classic look. Now, I've always had an appreciation for the Woox chassis, but I never purchased one because it just wasn't quite there yet. So recently, a couple weeks ago, Woox introduced their Furiosa Ultra. And with that Ultra, what they did was they blended that nice, smooth, supple wood with their origins being an Italian company, and this stuff is actually made in Italy. It is assembled here in the United States. I believe they have ties to the furniture company Manelli. But what they did is they started doing exactly what you needed to have in a chassis rather than just the aesthetics. So with the Furiosa, one of the things that I've noticed is they have the built-in Arca rail here finally. It's one of the reasons why I didn't get one before. It also has the M-lock on the side. And guys, I'm one of those that's a real stickler for attention to detail when it comes to the type of screws that they use. And in this case, they are using stainless screws, so you're not going to have that problem of rusting when you're in inclement weather. Now, wood being what it is, as long as it's sealed, it should be okay. This is a 10-inch long handguard, and it can accommodate a 1.25 diameter barrel. So they've done this portion right. Looking at the backside here, when you take a look at the backside, you do have an adjustable cheek riser. The wood is just unbelievable detail. I mean, when you look at some of the stippling that's done here, especially with their logo, it's very smooth. It's really nice. This is walnut, but you can just press these and you've got an adjustable cheek riser. You have your adjustable length of pull, and it also adjusts left and right on a swivel system, which is really unique. It also has a bag rider as well. So this wood bag rider is nice, and once again, they did pay attention to the detail and they used stainless fasteners on the bottom of that. All in all, you're looking at about 4.5 pounds for the overall weight of the chassis. Now, that is going to be without the internal weights. It is possible to put internal weights in here. It comes with 2 of them. They weigh about 2.5 ounces each, and it can accommodate up to 6. So right now, I only have 2 weights. I did buy the weight kit for it, and right now where it is located on this tripod, it is perfectly balanced. Guys, this is like on that balance point almost perfectly. And remember, we have all this space here because this is actually going to be the front of the mag well. So the weight is perfect on this. This is actually a DP Gunworks. This is an Origin Action, a Zermatt, and it's actually in 223 Ackley improved. This is actually one of my trainer rifles, and I wanted to throw it in this chassis. It is outfitted with the Trigger Tech diamond, and what we're going to do is we're going to shoot this here in a little bit. We're going to talk about some of the pros and cons of this chassis here in just a minute. All right, so for those that might not be familiar with 223 Ackley improved, basically you need to fireform the brass by shooting 223 or 5.56, and in this case we're just going to use Hornady Black. This is the 223 Remington 75 grain boat tail hollow point. Now when I shoot this will actually blow the shoulders out to the 223 Ackley improved. And you say, well, why would you want to do that? And the reason is you can hold more case capacity. You can also shoot a longer bullet. So it's going to be tailored towards those 80 to 90 grainers shooting a 223, and we can put more charge in there. However, the ironic thing about it is you could still shoot a match with this as long as it likes it while you're fire forming. I haven't fired a single round out of it. We're just going to see what happens. I just torqued everything up in the action, and we'll see what kind of group we can get while fire forming. Typically, it's going to still hold about a minute or so. Now, for the bottom metal, this is something I do need to mention. When you buy the chassis, and this chassis retails for $13.99, you are going to have to purchase the bottom metal. So Woox does sell the Hawkins Precision detachable bottom metal for this. Right now, they just have it for Remington 700 short action. They are going to have it for the AICS for the long action setups, but that's not available just at the moment. So if you're going to use that, you're going to need to use 223 magazines. These are MDT 223 magazines. I'm just going to load up a couple of rounds in here. I'm going to just check the bore sight to make sure we're going to be close to the target because I don't want to shoot my camera downrange. And let's see how everything feels when we put it into the action. We'll go from there. So let me just do a rudimentary bore sight here just to make sure we're going to be at least on the paper at 100. So I'm just going to check through the bore. I'm looking at a black spot on the berm. And I think I must have bored this at the bore side of this at the house. It looks like it's going to be close, but she is going to be a little bit left, maybe. I'm not sure. Only way to find out, let's go ahead and shoot it. So go ahead and do that. Go ahead and put this in. Let me get my cheek riser just right so everything's perfect. That's pretty good right there. All right, so 3 rounds. We'll check the first one. It went in there very nice and easy. With these polymer mags, I'm not getting a lot of wiggle fore and aft. We do not have an adjustable mag catch, so that would be the negative to it, but this looks like it's going to work fine. And I've never fired this. That's a brand new MDT comp on here. Their competition muzzle brake, so I'm interested to see how that works. So let's see if we get our first shot on paper. So I have the camera downrange. What I'm going to aim for is the top left target is the S target, the sighter target, but I'm not going to aim at the big one. I'm going to aim at the one on the right. That way, if I am off paper, it will give me a better up and down so I can spot it. Here we go, going hot. Okay, not bad. It is about 2/10 high, and I could probably go 1/10 right. So let me go 2/10 down, and we're gonna go right. And I'll show you what that looks like after it's fire formed, ready for reloading. All right, so now that we've gotten that out of the way, the next one should be pretty close to the bullseye. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for target 1. It's the center target, top row. Okay, almost a bullseye, 3 o'clock. There it is in the bullseye, in the pinwheel. So based on that, this is zeroed. I would just need to zero my turrets out. That's not bad for 3 shots, just right off. Let's go ahead and follow those up. Here we go, same target. Bullseye, dead center. And bullseye, dead center. Nothing like a DP Gunworks. This is a shooter, especially in this chassis. So what I'm going to do is, now that I've got this zeroed, I'm going to zero out my turrets. I'm going to try to get a muzzle velocity, and we'll see if we can't start ringing steels all the way up about 700. And what I'll do is I'll put this on some barricades to see how it balances and how well it would work in a PRS type setting. So far I'm impressed with the rifle. We already know Kenny builds a great rifle, but I think this looks is just a die for. So let's go ahead and do some positional stuff. All right, so as good as it looks, if it doesn't perform, especially in a competition environment, then we definitely don't want it, right? So what we'll do is we'll just take some shots here from the barricade, something to set up like PRS. I've got some rudimentary dope. I do have a magazine of like 4 rounds and then a magazine of 1, so I'll have to do a reload. We're not going to do this for time or anything, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just let you guys know what I feel or what I notice about the rifle. So first thing we'll do is we'll go 500. Everything feels good as far as the grip. Let's see if I can get an impact. Too easy, 500. One of the things I'm going to tell you right off is this butt pad reminds me a lot of a Benelli M2. It is very smooth in texture and it slides on the t-shirt very, very easily. That I'm going to have to roughen up. I think shooting this in the competition, that's going to cost you because it is so slick. As far as reaching up here to the scope, no issues with that. Let me try 550. We'll try it from an awkward height. We'll try it here, 550. We'll see what we get. I'm going to push all the way into the barricade here. This is one of those positions that's too high for a short guy. And that's an impact at 550. Let's try 600. Probably wouldn't hurt to have a little texture down here. I don't know how you do that though. It feels a little slick, but it could just be me. All right, 600. Impact, no issues. Yeah, so biggest thing is going to be this butt pad. This needs to have more texture to it. It is too slick. I do like the cheek weld. It feels good. I love the feel of the wood. It is supple. It's not going to get cold, not going to get hot on you or anything like that. The grip feels good. The position here for the thumb rest, I wish there was some way to actually put a thumb rest on here because it would be slightly forward. I'm not really digging where it's at right there, but otherwise feels great. Let's go ahead and shoot 2 shots. We'll do 2 shots at 600, but we'll do a mag change on this one. So here we go. Impact. Impact. So she works really well. It's got everything you need from the ARCA all the way down to the adjustment here. Now let's talk about some of my nuances. All right, so let me go ahead and give you my thoughts on this Woox Furiosa Ultra. I really love the aesthetics. The looks just speak to me. It's one of the best looking rifles I've probably ever seen. But we do have to talk about function and form and things like that, price and whatnot. All right, so starting at the back, working our way forwards. One of my biggest complaints is going to be this slick butt pad. It is extremely slick on the shirt, guys. You can see that it's not even grabbing at all. And so when you're trying to get in a position, this is just sliding all over the place. So they're going to have to look at a different texture here, or you're going to have to put something that's got a little more grip to it. As far as the adjustment left and right on this back side, that was ingenious. Works really well. Guys, the other thing I want to point out is the adjustment on the length of pull. This is one of the smoothest actions I've ever felt in my life. And the only way I can figure that out, and maybe some of you other manufacturers can look at this as well, is they've inserted some type of polymer insert here, so you're not getting any type of rattling or anything else. It is one of the smoothest adjustments you will ever feel in any rifle. It is literally buttery smooth. When you click it in, it's clicked in. All of the fit and finish is incredible. One of the things that I'm going to ding them on here on the bag rider is that you pay $1,400 for a chassis, you don't get a bag rider, which that's fine because XLR and everyone else, they do the exact same thing. However, especially for someone that has a beautiful walnut stock, we're going to have to try to do a better job of maybe matching that up or offering that as a kit because this is really light compared to the rest of the walnut. It just doesn't fit. This is about $40. I went ahead and ordered that. Great job with the attention to detail on the stainless screws, so we're not going to get any type of rust or oxidizing or anything like that. As far as the side of the receiver, you know, maybe consider having some knockouts here or some grub screws where you could put a thumb perch, I think that would really sell it. The grip position is excellent, no complaints there whatsoever. But now that's going to bring us to the next point. So you pay $1,400 for this chassis, and it comes to you and there's no bottom metal. You will have to buy the Hawkins Precision bottom metal, which is going to run around $225. Now be aware the Hawkins Precision bottom metal does not have an adjustable mag catch. So if you're running something like a Voodoo that's going to, like in a rimfire, that's very temperamental on the height of the magazine itself, you could run into issues. I haven't dropped this into a Voodoo, so I don't know. I don't think it'll be any issues in a Rim-X whatsoever, because that Rim-X does have the adjustable mag catch. As far as this area here, I know they kept it clean looking. I did put this on myself, just laser engraved it on there just to add something to it. This is kind of reminiscent of like a Remington 870 shotgun. While it is clean, you know, maybe a little more detail here, or even putting like the Woox logo, deep engraving it, would look better than just that smooth slab side. And I understand the look that they're going for, and I'm not trying to be too picky here, I'm just covering all the bases. As far as the length of the handguard, it being 10 inches is awesome. Integrating that Arca Swiss rail is the best thing you guys could have ever done. And then doing the M-lock here is great. The internal weight system is great, gives you ample space to add, what, 15 ounces? You know, almost a pound of weight under the handguard itself, because you can put 6 of the 2.5 ounces in here. So 15 ounces can be added. Great job for inletting this to be able to accommodate a 1.25. However, up close when you look, and no matter how I've tried to center it, and I promise the barrel's not crooked, I am a lot closer to this side than I am to this side. So there's something off just a little bit, but I don't have any touching, and it is full free float. It's great, but if you're kind of picky about that, that would kind of bother you a little bit. Even though you have spacing, it is favoring the left side instead of the right side. Otherwise, I think it is a great option. They offer a lot of different features, a lot of different chassis, and I do appreciate the opportunity of being able to review this chassis. So I hope you guys learned a little bit of something about the new Furiosa Ultra by Woox. It's a local company in Hickory, North Carolina. I hope you guys check them out, and thank you again. Have a great weekend. All right, little bonus footage. If you know, you know. Let's see how many of you guys can guess this one. Let's see if she runs. All right, so we're gonna try a D60 in this. If you guys know what a 416 is, then you know you know. We will try 100 first. Now we'll go ahead and put her on full auto. HK 416s are unbelievable. To get them with a Remington Defense handguard, those are pretty hard to find. Here we go. Pretty soft shooting. This out. HK 416, hard to beat it. Hutchworks EOTech Voodoo 1 to 10. A big shout out to you guys. You guys have a great week. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.